So now we'll start the stage 4. So in stage 4, what is the difference between the stage 3 and stage 4 means? Okay, this is stage 3. Now I'll go to stage 4. Okay, the difference is what means here I added another package called test cases. Okay, what I did means before all the class files are there in your framework engine package. Now what I did, I moved everything separately, the test cases informations to the separate package called test case. The all test, login, logout, create customer, create project, everything. If you see the old one, here I am having all these informations. Right now I created a new package and then I settled down these information to the new package there in the stage 4. That's what we have done here. Okay, now I'll go to the respective Eclipse. Okay, if you see over here, okay, right now I'm in stage 4. Okay, I'll see, you can see 4 packages. Okay, this is your framework engine package. Right now it will be consisting of Excel library and then test executor class, and then the properties package will consist of the properties file. Okay, config and OR. Test cases will have all tests, create customer, create project, login, logout. All the files will be loaded here. Then finally your respective Excel sheet information. Okay, now I'll go to the setup framework sheet. Here if you see, what is the difference between the stage 3 and stage 4 means? Okay, separately I created one extra package called the test case package, then test executor class and the Excel library class. Then also I have 4 class files, all test, login, logout, create customer and create project I have. Now if I come over here, okay, what is the difference I have done here in the Excel sheet means? Okay, now I'll open the Excel sheet which is of your stage 4. I'll go to my respective Excel sheet. Right now we are in the 4th stage. Here I have my Excel sheet information. Here is my respective Excel sheet. Excel sheet I'll open. There I'll open the test Excel sheet. If you see over, what is the extra difference here means from the old one to new one means extra 2 columns has been added, which is called status and the description column. Okay, right now still in stage 3 we have not captured whether the respective test cases are been passed or not. Each and every test step right now in the stage 4 I am going to capture whether the respective test step is passed or failed. I am going to capture, and then I am going to give a color whether if it is passed in green color, if it is failed means in red color. That is what I am going to do now. Now I'll come over to the sheet. Okay, now I'll open the Excel library and the test executor. Okay, I'll come to the setup framework one more time. Okay, there is 6 columns is added. The new one is what, your status and the description column, that is a 2 information. Then there is no changes here. Okay, now in the data column I have done some changes. Okay, before what I did means I was having the respective or config properties file information I was having. Right now I am going to give the respective original data itself. Why I am going to give the original data itself? Here I am going to hard code here means, that is, when you come to the create customer and create project, all those informations if you see, I will be creating n number of customers and then n number of projects. The same customer name cannot be accepted for the one more time, because coming and changing in the properties file for each and every time will be an hard one. But if it is an Excel sheet, coming and then changing the information here, the customer name is first customer, next one I will give it as second customer. Opening Excel sheet and then I am doing changes will not be a problem for me. Why means, in the properties file, if I want to go and change means, I want to go here, and then if I open my respective properties file means, I want to search which is my respective one, the variable name I want to search, and then I want to give the changes here. That will be a hectic one. For the properties file, order properties file I can do it, but for the small changes also, if I want to come and do here means what, it will be hectic one. So that's why I have used directly the informations here itself, because I will have the config.properties file. Which are the things I will be having means getting the informations of the URL information, because those things will not change entirely, each and every time will not be changed, but these informations what the data set I am using here means that will be changed for n number of times. Right now I will be entering using here admin manager, that is admin login. Some other different user login if I want to do means that will be different. Like that changes will happen n number of times. Come again?
When you go for testing, right? When you're using it as one username as admin and another as a password, the other one you use your name and your password, my name and my password, her name and my. So the data will be different, right?
Yes, correct.
You have to check for all the data.
Yes, correct.
Sometimes it's a valid data, invalid data also you have to give giving a invalid password or special characters.
Correct.
Password, you have to check it. Right?
Yes.
So the data will be increasing. At that time you can't hardcode this data, right?
Correct, but I cannot use it here. If I use means what will happen, each and every time I need to come and change here in the config properties file. That is what I can't do like that. The same thing if it is an Excel sheet means what are the thing I can do, I can come and change over here for each and every time. That is, if you are passing different set of data means you have to use a for loop, and then using the for loop you have to come and take the respective information. Right now take this data set, then for the next for loop come and take the different data set, then for the next for loop, like that the rotation should be there in the for loop. And then in the Excel sheet only you have to give this what are the datas you need to take. It should not be a information, take the information from the Excel sheet, again go to the config properties file, again don't take here, because what, if you are working on different set of data, you have to create different variable names also in your config properties file. So that should not happen. The information should be taken from here and then it should be working on that one. Different multiple set of data means you have to use a for loop to take it for n number of times, and from where it need to take, you have to give it, reading the Excel sheet information you have to give. Yeah, you have to go there and then you have to do it. That is also you can do it using the respective program itself. We have seen the parameterized class. From there also, oh, you have not attended? Okay. Using the parameterized class also you can pass m number of datas and then you can get the informations. Otherwise, in the Excel sheet you have to pass the informations and then you have to get the data's information.
Will it not be happen as data whichever you are providing the username and password?
So right now all these informations I will be having under your config properties file. Okay, that is your order properties file will have the informations of your respective property value of the element. Config properties mainly what I will be using here means this respective browser information and the URL information, and other things which are not going to frequently change, those things only I will be having in your respective config properties file. Otherwise, if it's going to change frequently means I will be having the information passing from here itself. So I will not call the config properties file information. That's what. Then status information, description information we will see. Now I'll come to the respective framework. This data status description we saw. Okay, now in the Excel library class I have added an extra information. Okay, write class. Yes. So what is that gonna do? Okay, in the write class I'll open the Excel library information. If we come over, we saw what is Excel data. It will get the read the information from the Excel sheet, get the row count from the Excel sheet, then write to Excel. This is going to accept you the sheet name, row number, cell number, and then your value. 4 informations it's going to accept as an argument. So now what I'm going to do, first I'm going to get the information, that is what, the location in the sheet name information, Excel book information. Then I'm creating that and then getting the sheet name information. I'm passing the sheet name now. Now what, it will go and get the information of the respective sheet. Right now it's login logout, so gets the sheet information. Now what will happen, goes here, get the row number information. What will happen, right now I will be passing 1 for example. Now what will happen, goes here and fetches 0 1. Now again, now what I am going to do here, cell style is equal to w dot create style. I am going, that is right now I am going to do some styling there. Okay, what are the stylings we will be doing, we will see. Now if value dot equals fail, okay, I am going to pass some informations now. If the value is fail, it will go under this one, otherwise it will go under here. I will be passing only two types of values, one is fail, otherwise it's pass. So that's why I am using if else condition, that's it. If it is fail, now it will go set fill foreground color, okay, index color red dot get index, that is the background color is there now, that one I am going to make it as red if it is failure. If it is pass means I will make it as blue green. Now I will come over here, that is if it is pass means here it will come to else condition, make it as green color or else red color. I did this one. Now what, style dot set fill pattern style cell style solid foreground, that is what the foreground information I am making the pattern information. Now what, I am creating the cell information to write some information, I am making that one as a string, because right now I am going to pass the string value only, whether it is pass or fail, which is a string value only I am going to pass. If you see over here, if you come over, see I am passing the value as a string only, that's why I am converting it as a string. Now set the cell value, that is what is the value I am passing, whether I will be passing fail or pass, that information I am going to set it. So now what will happen, in my background, in my copy, that information will be stored, and the style information is what, right now what is the style information but passed, we are going to make it as red or green, that information is going to pass here. So what will happen, that information will be set under the respective cell. Now using the file output stream on the write method, everything will be stored under the respective Excel sheet. Still now this command what will happen, everything will be happen in the backend copy. Once if I use write, now only everything will be stored under respective Excel sheet. Now after making the Excel sheet, I am closing the connection, and then what I am doing, again I will be coming to the place where it is been called. That is what, just a second. Okay, now what will happen, the respective place where it is called, it will go there. Okay, so that is what in your write Excel sheet is there method. Now if I come over to the text executor class, okay, now what I did, make the driver library script name as a global one. Okay, these things, what are the changes has been done, we'll see now in the test executor class. I'll open in the test executor class, web driver is equal to driver. Okay, this I'm creating a variable for that one, a non-static variable, and for the Excel library also I made it as a global one, and the script name also I made it as a global one. All these three things I'm making it as a global one. Now properties file information for the config I'm getting here. Now the whole properties value also was there now, that one I have removed from here. Only the config properties file information I'm having. Over properties value I moved somewhere, I'll show you where it has been moved. Then script name information I'm getting it. Now what script name information I got here, now driver dot equal to new. Right now what the script name what I'm getting here now, that is where from where it is been called, is being called from the login logout class. Okay, in the login logout class I'll be just calling the information what, execute test login logout. Now what will happen, it will go to the respective execute test which is present under the test executor class. I'll press control and then I'll click on click it, it will go to the respective test executor execute method. Goes here, passes login logout here. This login logout what, I'm storing it in a global variable. Okay, now I showed this one. Now driver is equal to new Firefox driver, invoking the Firefox browser. Then now what, I'm getting the URL information from the config property value. Then implicit wait I'm doing, then creating an object for the Excel library class. Then not getting the row count information, I'm getting the row count information, I got it. Okay, the script name, what is that, login logout. Now it will go to the respective Excel library class. Okay, get row count, go to the Excel library class, passes the sheet name, login, logout. Now go to the respective Excel sheet, then gets me the row count information, comes over here, passes me the return value. That will be captured under this return value. For example, 4 right now. That will be stored under number of test steps. Then what? For int I is equal to 1, I is less than or equal to number of steps. The same thing what we did in the stage 3. I am going to run a for loop here. Now what? Library.getExcelData, script name I comma 1. Now that I am going to store in the action variable. Then I comma 2 element ID method. That is what means I am going to capture type, name, admin underscore u1, admin. These 4 information under 4 variables. Action, element ID method, locator value, data. In these 4 variables I have captured this information. Then now what? I am going to print the information. I am going to print these 4 information. Now I am going to compare. The condition is what? Action dot equals type. If it is type, goes under this block. Otherwise searches for click, select, like that will go. Now what? It's type for me. Passes element ID method, locator value, data, and then the I. What is this I right now? Means 1. Okay, if you see the old test executor method, here I am getting information, here I am checking action dot equals type. Now what? I am passing here type, element ID method, locator value, data. I am not passing 1 the I value, that is right now 1 or something. Right now what? I am having an extra argument here, I. Right now Y is what? 1. And one more thing, if you see in the old stage 3 test executor, if you see here, I am having the locator value and the data information I am getting here itself. Here itself I am getting the respective original one. But right now here what? Still now I have not got the original one. Still now it's the. So right now what we did, I am not getting the information of the respective properties value. What I am doing here means in the locator value here information itself, what I am doing, library.getExcelData, and then this information I am getting now the locator value information. There I am calling a method called getOverValue. This new method has been created. Okay, I will click on this method, control and then click on it. It will call that respective method, go method. Here what? GetOverValue information, string locator, it's going to accept. That is what the information what I got from there. For example, if I am getting admin underscore u1, okay, that information will be passed under here. Now what? The return value, first I am having it as a null information. Why? Means if the information is present, that will be some information, otherwise the value will be null. So I am capturing it as a null information right now. That means if nothing is present, return the value as null. That is what I am giving there. Now what? Creating an object for the properties file. Here I am having a try catch block. Okay, why try catch block I am using means if there is a problem, if a null information or something is when I don't want to stop my execution, I want it to continue the execution. So that's why what I am capturing it in a try catch block. If something fails, it will print me the information, but finally captures me, continues my execution. It will not stop anywhere. Now what? Here new file out input stream, and then I am passing the information of my properties file. Now what will happen? That information will be loading. That entire overall properties will be loaded under the properties object. Then what is the value? Property.getProperty locator, admin underscore u1 goes and searches the information under the over.properties file, gets the username information that will be stored under your return value. Then I am returning that information. Okay, that's what will be stored under your respective locator value information. This entire information will be stored under locator value. That's what I am passing here. Okay, if you see the data information right now, I don't want to use config underscore because from the Excel sheet itself I am passing the original data only. So over properties only I need. Config properties value right now it's not needed there. Okay, so now element ID, locator value, data. The original data the original set itself I am passing here. Now I will go to the type method. Extra information I am passing here one more I information, that is right now it's 1. I will go to the type method. Now what happens? Passes 4 information. Right now what is information? Minus name. Okay, my information element ID is name there. So goes here. Now what I am having it in under a try catch block. Why I am having it under a try catch block means, before in the old execution what will happen, I will not have a try catch block, means something error happens, the execution will stop there in the middle itself, but here it will not stop in the middle. So that's why I am having it like this. Now driver dot find element by dot name, the locator value, and then send keys, that is username and then admin will be passed here. Now if it is perfectly working there, what will happen? It will go and execute the try block. If there is some error here, what will happen? Goes for the catch block and finds the exception. Now it will execute this information. Now if it is respectively is working fine, means it will go and execute the next one. Library dot write to Excel, which is a method under the Excel library class, which is going to accept the script name login logout. Row number right now is what? 1 for me. Okay, what is this row number means? Right now I told it's going to accept 4 information from there: element ID, locator value, data, and then there we passed I na, that I is row number. Okay, that's what here. The row number right now is 1, 5, and then pass. These 4 information I am going to pass there. So now what will happen? Goes to the respective write to Excel sheet method in the Excel library class. Login logout 1, 5, and then string value is passed now. Okay, now what will happen? Goes here, execute all these information, and then what will happen? If it is pass, make here as pass. Okay, for example, if there is a failure, okay, what will happen? Okay, now first we will see this one. It will enter pass there. Then now what will happen? Then goes and enter execute the next one. Library dot write to Excel script name row number 6, and then the data typed. The data is what right now? Admin. Typed admin into the locator value is what? Username. Username text box. Typed admin into username text box. I'll be giving here. That's what. Again that will go and call the respective write to Excel method, and then that will be writing here in the description field. That's what. Okay, now what it will do? If a failure happens, what will happen? Goes to the catch block, the same information. Now it will give me fail information. Then finally again in the description, okay, locator value, okay, text box not found, username text box not found, it will give me the information. That's what it will happen. Failure happens. Now what? Finishes this type method, again comes over here, finishes the type here block here, comes over here, finishes the loop. Now what will happen? Again the loop starts. I is equal to 2. Then the execution again flows from before to here, and finally what will happen? Entire information is finished. Driver dot quit. Now what will happen? Total information, the total n number of browsers are open also, everything will be stopped now. Now totally finishes here, then comes out to the login logout class, ending login logout scenario, and comes out of it and totally finishes. Okay, this is what the execution happens. If it is a suite file, what will happen? The same flow how it will be. First executes login logout, comes to create customer, create project, and finally finishes from here. That's how this will be happened. Okay. Now I'll go to the respective setup framework. Now I told I'm making this one as a global one, WebDriver, Excel library, and then my script name information. Okay, first these things I made as a respective information. Then Now or dot properties method is there now, that one I'm making it as a method, get or value. This get or value I made it as a method, and then I'm passing the information. Okay, I'm capturing the respective with the try catch block, as not error happens means it needs to be handled. Then now what I'm going to do, okay, now the information, now what the locator value information which I got, that information, that one I'm calling with the help of a get over value. That not get over value library to get excel data, if I pass means what will happen, it will go to the respective get over value method and finally get me the original information through return value, that will be stored under the variable locator value. That's what we saw there. Now this is the information, then we don't have this two informations we did, other things are same. Now what, in the respective, in the write to excel method, now what happened, I have added the information. Okay, there also a try catch block I have added there, because there also if error comes means what, it need to be handled there. Okay, where I'm adding here means in this method type and action methods, that is here in the action methods I'm having a try catch block, because any error happens that also need to be handled. Okay, in the get over method, oh, that is, this is get over value method.
So is this efficient because for every loop we are running this and creating a new object from it?
That is what's happening here means each and every time it will not be what will happen, yeah, it will be creating a number of objects, but thing what is that means actually entire informations we are capturing it right now. Okay, we'll handle that one later, we'll handle that one. Okay, that one we can make it as a global one, that also properties designer, that one we can make it as a global one and then we can do it. Now what, using the type method we are going to have a try catch block, that is what here we are doing, using a try catch block. If its execution is passed, it will be passing the data information and pass and enters the description. If something failure happens in this locator value, comes to the catch block, execute these information, that's what's going to happen. Now comes to the other information, then I have added a new one called driver.quit, that is total execution has happened, it will close the respective browser and then comes finishes it, that's the thing. Now if you come over in the login logout class, nothing changes happen, and then in your all test nothing happened, here nothing happened. Okay, only the main changes happened here is what means in your test executor class, that is where the changes happen. And then your write to excel test excel sheet, write to excel method, we added the pass and fail with respective green color and red color information, that's the only thing. Okay, now this is what your respective stage 4 is about. Okay, the total set information, okay, the changes what we done, that is what.